Hello everybody. Everyone knows it's that time of the season. Out with the old and in with the new. New decade approaching us and such. Well, I'm just going to take a moment to remember some of my favorite things from, 2009. And, let's begin with Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger. Now, I would love this game and give it a 9.5 out of 10 because it is personally, I think one of the best fightings out there due to fighting mechanics and all. But the thing that bugs me is there's pretty much no unlockables other than 2 extra stories and 2 boss characters. But you can't really use boss characters to have fun with them anyway, so there's no point really unlocking them and bragging about it. Other than that, the online is great. Haven't had any lag with this game. But the thing that really pisses me off is limited character selection. There's only these characters and 2 more for a grand total of 12. That is it. Don't get me wrong, each character is very good in how they play. The tier list isn't like way out of whack, only in like 2 scenarios, but it's a great game. Anybody can have fun with it. Now sure, it may take a while to get used to, but it's from Axis, man. The same people that made the Guilty Gear franchise. So you can't really go wrong with it. I mean, look at it. It's got a beautiful case, it's a collector's edition. Really good stuff in this game. I'd give it a 8.5 out of 10. Only cons with it is, the limited character selection and limited unlockables. Other than that, top of the line. Number 2, Need for Speed Shift. Haven't had any lag issues online with this game. This game has a tremendous fun factor. For one, the cars, they all have their own different feel. They're all great. You can go into driver view where you're actually looking right behind the wheel as if you're actually driving the car. And everything looks kind of realistic, kind of got that feel of you're actually in the car. Now sure, it's nothing like the Forza 3s and the Forzas of the world. I mean, Project Gotham did the inside of the car, had a larger car selection. But don't get me wrong, it still has that somewhat classic Need for Speed feel mixed with the racing simulators of the future. And all in all, it's a great game. One flaw, though. Very fatal flaw. The loading. This game has a tendency, and I've tried it on my Xbox, a friend Xbox, and with 2 discs. And it proves that this game right here is ridiculous with how it loads. It's an 80-20 chance. Out of every, say, 80 times you load this game or get into a secret where you have to load something, 20 of those 80 times you're going to get an infinite load. It's going to keep loading, and it's going to keep loading. You can let it sit there for an hour. You're still going to get the loading screen, and the only way to fix it is to turn it off and turn it back on. Fortunately, I've gotten it 3 times in a row, but eventually I did get back to playing. So instead of these, 10 9 out of 10s and, 5 out of 5s, I'm going to have to give Need for Speed Shift the old, I want to say 7.5, but I can give it an 8 because, online... Online is just awesome. Well, in my opinion. And then we have the trilogy. The trilogy. And I'm going to give you all 3 games and my thoughts on them. The first Prime game, it was all new back on the GameCube, and it's been completely reamped with the addition of the Spring Ball power-up. I mean, it's just awesome. For one, if you knew how awesome the original was when it hit the GameCube, imagine that, make it epic, make it with better graphics, Wii controls, you actually feel like you're in the game. Gotta give that one a 9.5 on its own. As for Echoes, the ammo system really kind of turned me off a little bit from it, but the actual bosses and the music and the environments from the Dark Aether and the normal Aether, put together, all-around landscape, brings it right back up. The pirate battles were amazing. The exploration was vast, and, it was just really Metroid feeling, up to par with everything. Even surpassed Metroid Prime 1 on its actual size and ability to do things and freedom. So I have to give that one a 9 out of 10. Still didn't like the whole ammo system. That just really, that's what hurt the game for me. As for Metroid Prime 3, sure it was the longest, but it was the most, it felt like it was pushing you in certain directions. Like, I'm sure every Metroid game you have to do things in a certain order. But in Metroid Prime 3, it just felt like that nagging, go here and do this, go here and do this. It was about as linear as a Metroid game could possibly be, but overall it was fun, the bosses were okay, but the music just was not up to par with the Metroid series. I don't know what they had. I mean, they even went to rehashing tracks from both Prime 1 and Prime 2, which was really a scratch on the head, like, were they running out of tracks, I guess? But, I mean, the only songs I found enjoyable were Gandrada and the Run This battles. Other than that, oh wait, no wait. There was one more. Everybody knows what it is. I don't have to say it. But there was only about 3 out of the 30, and they pretty much rate the pirate theme, which was also the one thing I was looking forward to hearing. But that's just my opinion. So I'm going to give Prime 3 an 8 out of 10. But Trilogy, it all comes in a package. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. 9.5 out of 10. Matter of fact, because it's collector's edition, 10 out of 10. Anyway, those are my top 3 games of '09. And, well, that's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with them. I know they're pretty unorthodox from your Call of Duty, Modern Warfares, but as I've probably stated in another video, and if I haven't, I'm not too much big on the whole first-person shooter scene. I'm more of a racer, fighter, Metroid type person, and well, I gave you a racer, gave you a fighter, and I gave you a Metroid game. So, all I've got to say is, if you haven't picked up Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger, Need for Speed Shift, or Metroid Prime Trilogy, I highly, highly suggest you do. But if you're looking forward to Forza Motorsport 3, don't get this, just wait for Forza. And I will be waiting for it too. But by the way, don't get you might want to get Blaze Blue now, but there's going to be a sequel, Continuum Shift, coming up next year. So you might want to be, if you want to, if you're really hardcore about fighting games, get your practice in with it. If you're just, just wait for Continuum Shift. Anyway, I probably wasted more time than I've needed to. It's about 7.5 minutes into the video now. So, SirCottonSkull here. Message me if you want my Skype, and, yeah, later.